Hello, what's happening? Matt aka Lethal Frag here. Today we're talking about corporate greed, gaming, the gaming community. We're just going to do a pretty broad commentary thing here. I got quite a few things to talk about. And I'd first off like to talk about corporate greed. And this is not the case with all games that come out that are, not finished. But I think we've seen in the past few years a lot of games get released that are frankly broken. And, this used not to be such a big deal to me. But, with the downswing in the economy, and now I don't have a job anymore, because I quit it for the 2-year live stream challenge, I don't have money to buy mediocre games anymore. And it's made me take a look at the games that I play, and the games that, I'm looking to buy. And, I just don't have money to invest in mediocre games anymore. And I think a lot of people are in the exact same boat. And it's a little bit frustrating as a gamer knowing that, maybe you're going to buy a game and it's not going to be what you want, what you expected. And I think it's putting a lot of pressure on the game companies. Maybe they don't realize it yet, but the pressure is there because people are just not going to buy mediocre stuff anymore. Me especially, like I said, I don't have money anymore. I can't spend $65 hoping that a game is going to be okay. And I think a lot of that comes down to the people that publish the games, and they're just putting too much pressure on the devs to release games that just aren't quite there yet. I'm just going to point out a company, Blizzard, obviously the makers of WoW. They do a really good job of releasing games that aren't broken, and I think that's why they're going to continue to be successful. Why they have been successful is they always have good post-game support, good in-game support. Their games get patched right away, and that's something we're just not seeing nowadays, is, that quick patching, fixing the problems right away, and it's something that I think gamers are going to come to expect. So not only the developers, but the publishers are going to have to change their expectation if they want to sell games at the same volume they have been selling them. And yes, I am talking about Call of Duty a little bit here. I've quit Call of Duty, and that's really the reason why. And I'm not trying to hate here. I've just seen this trend over and over again, not just with Call of Duty. I've had a lot of games that I've bought this year before I quit my job that I was just not satisfied with. And I think the community, whether they realize it or not, at some point there's going to be community outrage because games are getting more and more and more expensive. I mean, $60 is a lot to drop on a new video game. You can buy a lot of food with $60. You can do a lot of things with $60, then be frustrated with the game that you just bought. Let's talk a little bit about the gaming community. I think it's in kind of, it's in a weird place right now. There's a lot of big things happening. Live streaming is really booming right now. YouTube is still as popping as ever. But I want to talk about the types of gameplays that people are posting and some of the trends that I've noticed over the past year or so. And one of the main trends that I've noticed is that the big game is dying. And what I mean by that is nobody really cares about big gameplays anymore. I think when Modern Warfare 2 dropped and that concept of the nuke, the game-ending kill streak, it was huge. Everybody wanted to put up nuke gameplays, do all these things, and it kind of carried over to Black Ops, and it got old really quick. I have personally no desire to watch somebody go 117-4 in Demolition. I think it's incredibly boring to watch, and while there's still a fan base for that, it's died down considerably. Here's a game that I want to watch of Call of Duty, is 30 kills, 50 deaths, 10 captures, 8 defense. That is a great game for me to watch and to watch the commentary on, rather than watch some guy sit there and camp the spawn for 25 kills. It's just a trend that I've noticed. I don't know if it'll continue, or maybe it'll come out with a new kill streak that'll be amazingly fun to watch. I just think that style of play is kind of dying. It's a little bit of a detriment to the overall style of the game as well. It really kind of turned me off from playing objective games in Black Ops, especially if I didn't have a full party, just knowing that there was going to be 2 or 3 people on the other team not even playing the objective. Another thing I want to touch on is the difficulty level of games lately. I'm going to use Dead Island as an example. Even on the hardest difficulty, I got about 12, 14 hours in. Didn't even feel like once that I was, gonna die, that it was a struggle for me. And that's a real turnoff. I was watching my buddy the Crumps 2, play Ninja Gaiden, and that game is hard. That is one of the hardest games ever made. Ninja Gaiden 1. Damn near impossible to beat. And they just don't make games challenging anymore. And if I spend $60 on a game, I want to get that replay value. Even if the campaign or the storyline or whatever it is 45, 50 hours long, if I don't feel like I'm going to be challenged or die in that entire time, it frankly does not feel worth my time. I understand they have to mainstream games, they have to make games for people that are new to games, but I think that's what the easy difficulty is for. If the game is on a medium or to hard setting, you should be dying, you should be challenged. And I know there's a lot of people that feel the same way as I do, that there's just not enough challenge in gaming anymore. People that have been gaming for a really long time, we're obviously good at video games. We need that challenge level, we need something new. Another thing with the graphics of games. I don't think graphics of the games is that important. People fuss about this all the time. I'm going to use Twisted Metal as an example. This game is incredibly fun. And it's not the most graphically impressive or mechanically impressive, but damn is it a good time, and it's kind of a throwback to an age when games were just for fun. That's about all I got. Frag out.